You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What is going down? This is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast episode number 364. A lot to get into today. My daughter just went to sleep. It's about 2:15 in the morning. So I had to literally wait for her to go to sleep before I could come in here and do this. So it's always an adventure in the world of podcasting. Also, it took me about another 20 minutes to get my cord to act properly so that I could actually do a show for you guys. So going to be looking for some new or some backup cables so that I will never find myself in this situation again. So got some assignments this week and got a lot on my plate. But anyway, we're going to talk about my anime watch list. We're going to talk about a lot of Xbox news out here in these video game streets. We're also going to talk about Sony. We have a lot of things, a lot of news, a lot of updates to talk about here. And I'm going to dive right in. First, let's go ahead and start with my anime watch list, which I do now at the beginning of the show. And let's get into it. What I have been watching this week. And of course, Kimetsu no Yaiba is no question there, aka Demon Slayer. There's 2 episodes out now, guys. We're on season number 4 and it's getting very interesting. Okay. The end is near. It's a lot of stuff going on. Okay. The first episode was, I guess the movie. I think I explained that. If I didn't, let me go ahead and do it now. The movie that came out, that was out in theaters recently, that had to do with the ending of season 3 and the beginning of season 4. So the first episode of season 4 was about 48 minutes. So basically 2 episodes combined in one. So you got that and you got the ending of the last arc in season 3 combined, and they made a movie out of it. I hadn't seen it yet. I don't see it on Crunchyroll. I'm wondering why it's not there yet. If it's not, it'll probably be there really soon. I checked, I didn't see it. So maybe the next couple of months, it should probably pop up, but that's what you got. All right. So anybody who saw the movie didn't really even need to watch the first episode of season 4, but episode 2, season 4 focused on some other things. And like I said, I'm not even really going to get into it, guys. You need to go watch it. It's one of the best produced anime out there, in my humble opinion. And it's so great. Ufotable, which is the company, the studio, they're the greatest, man. They just, I can't wait to see this shit play out to completion, man. It's going to be, your eyes are going to get a treat. Check out Demon Slayer. It's out now. A lot of people who are casual fans didn't realize, they don't keep up with dates and stuff like that, unless they hear it on social media or something like that. So a lot of people didn't know. I was talking to some random people the other day, and they were surprised. They didn't realize they were fans of the series, but they lost track of when the next season came out. So a lot of people may go through that kind of thing. But yeah, it's out here, guys, for you. It's on Crunchyroll, and I think it's on other platforms. So I want to say it's Netflix as well, but don't let me get to lying. I could be wrong on that. I know it's also on other ones, though. I know Crunchyroll's not the only one, but I think Hulu, one of these guys, you can catch it there too. But anyway, let's move on. The other anime I'm watching is Date Alive. I think I talked a little bit about this last week. I don't remember. I know I watched a shit ton of anime. I've been watching a lot of them. I've been just picking random ones and watching about 3 episodes a piece, seeing if those 3 episodes can catch me. And I'm kind of doing a run test. Which ones am I going to start watching and then stick to? And I've been watching a lot of them. So Date Alive is about this boy. I think I described it last week, but he's dealing with these Valkyrie type females, and they're very powerful. And the only way he can get them to stop fucking up the earth is if he can get them to fall in love with him. There's more to it than that, but that's a broad stroke, guys. Check it out. It's really popular. It's been out for a while, and I've seen it a lot of different places. It's highly rated. So that's what I'm watching now. Really love Origami right now. My favorite characters so far in that series. But yeah, so that's another one I've been watching. I think it's 5-6 seasons to that. I think I've watched 10 episodes so far. So yeah, I'm there. And then a new one I just started is Trinity 7. So this is another kind of harem type of anime. This is not dubbed though, which is a shame, but it's cool because a lot of my anime I just end up watching subbed anyway. You can't miss out on anime just because it's not dubbed. I mean, dubbed makes it a little bit easier to watch, but still, you owe it to yourself to watch a lot of these that happen to just be subbed, and a lot of them will probably end up getting dubs later. How that works is crazy. There's just so many anime, and there's not enough actors to keep up with the demand, and there's always new anime coming out. So just do the math there, and you can get lost in the sauce very easy. But Trinity 7 is definitely one that I really like, and I've taken a liking to it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go too deep into that one, but it's about a boy who also is, he's got to stop what's going on. There's 7 females who all represent one of the 7 deadly sins, and they all have different abilities and such. And I'll just leave it there. Okay. Let your mind do the wandering for you. But there's just a lot of these I've been looking for, and watching all these harems and stuff. I kind of want to shift it a little bit. I've been listening to some anime podcasts, and they've been name dropping some. I've heard Black Butler. I've heard just a lot of different ones that have been going on. I keep hearing about Blue Exorcist, man. My daughter told me about that one. And then supposedly they have another season finally after years. I think 7 years, man, it's been since season 2. And they're finally getting that one done. So that's coming out soon. And then I kind of, like I said, One Piece is there on the horizon. I'm like, I need to go back and jump in there. So there's still plenty of things to watch. That's what I'm watching right now. These are the main ones I've been watching. Demon Slayer is once a week. So, I can do other things until next week comes around. And that's where I'm at right now. So there's also RE Monster. Also, I have there. So that's a weekly show as well. So yeah, those are the main ones. I heard about Spy Families supposedly coming back. So that's a really popular one. I did watch season 1 of that. So yeah, a lot of stuff to get into in the anime scene, guys. We can put 10 people in a room, and I guarantee you, when you pull us out of that room, everybody's going to have a different story to tell. Now, we may have some, some in common, but I'm telling you right now, if you let 10 people just go wild on Crunchyroll, they're going to come back, and each of us are going to have a different story to tell on what we like, what we found, and that's the beauty of communicating with other people in this kind of juncture, in this realm, because you can find things. And I've been recommended plenty of dope anime from friends and vice versa. And, without them recommending these, I don't know where I'd be, especially Naruto. My boy Dig, he's the one that put me on Naruto. Okay. And I keep hearing people telling me about One Piece. Keep watching. It's okay to me right now. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It hasn't blown me away. And apparently I'm not at the arc that's supposed to really take place. And I'm really close. Okay. So right around 450, 460 or something like that's when it's happening. I'm around 430. Okay, 430. So I'm going to keep watching it. There have been a lot of bright spots, in my opinion, for me, considering my personal taste. And hopefully, like I said, it takes off a little bit when I watch it a little bit longer. So we'll see, man. For the average person, though, I'm not going to wait 400 plus episodes for an anime to catch me. But like I said, it has enough there to keep me going, is what I'm saying. The premise, the universe and stuff like that is a little too zany for my liking. But like I said, I'm going to, be patient and ride it through and see why so many people consider this one their all-time favorite. Like the same way I think of Dragon Ball or Naruto or Demon Slayer, they think of One Piece in that juncture, or Attack on Titan. Because I cannot neglect Attack on Titan. That is definitely one of the GOATs, and it's definitely my top 5. I need to sit down and do a top 10 anime. I should do that one of these episodes, guys, and talk about that, because, man, that's going to be hard. There's so many good ones. I mean, god damn, I've found so many gems. Okay. And I have to do like a tier list, I guess, because there's some that, like I said, Attack on Titan is, if the highest of the high is, if I had to pick a word and just say elite or S rank, that would be an S rank. Dragon Ball is an S rank not because it's the best in the story or anything like that. I think it's just sentimental values to me personally. And like I said, there's a lot of things I love about Dragon Ball and it introduced for me. So that's definitely S tier. Naruto, I consider S tier. And what other ones can I consider S tier? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is kind of like an S tier. I have to put that up there for me. I remember, and that I went and bought that one. So yeah, there's a lot of them that are definitely S tier. Demon Slayer is definitely S tier. Okay, on my list. Now some of you may be, A, and then right over the best of the best is S. But yeah, Attack on Titan is there for fucking sure. We're done with the anime right now. Let's move on to gaming. Now, this is some shit that I heard recently out here in these video game streets. This is concerning Call of Duty coming to Game Pass. That's wild. They're really trying to experiment. I don't know if they're desperate or if they're just, reaching. I don't know what it is that they're doing, but apparently that's going to be done. So if you have Game Pass, you're going to have Call of Duty. There's a lot of speculation behind this move that is being made. And I think a lot of people will say that they're trying to get as many new subscribers to the Game Pass as possible. That's their main goal. I think in the end, this is just my humble opinion. I think without really knowing, without Microsoft coming out and just saying it, I think their ultimate goal is to have their quote unquote gaming division now, because I think that's what it's really becoming. It's really stepping away from Xbox, and it's kind of transforming itself into just the Microsoft game sector. Okay. I think that they're just trying to get as many people as they can to get Game Pass. That's why they're going to, stop worrying about first party games. They're going to be a third party company. So they're going to be making games now into the future moving forward that are going to be available everywhere. Okay. That's what they're focusing on. Whatever we have here is going to be available everywhere. And keep in mind, guys, they have a new system. Okay. A new piece of hardware coming out. All right. And it's going to be more powerful than everything out now. And I think they just want the most powerful system for third party games. Hey, look, if you're just into third party games, if you're a casual gamer, then this is the system for you. Okay. If you're just a casual gamer, it's going to be the strongest machine out here. So any third party game you buy is going to be the best over here as far as graphics, all of this stuff under the hood. You're gonna get that here. Then when you want to talk about, like a Sony or something or a Nintendo, you're going there for their IPs. You're going there for the games. Okay. If you want a system and you want some different experiences, but you also want third-party games, you can go there as well. So that's the trade-off that Xbox is kind of going for. But I think they just kind of want to be the Netflix of gaming. I mean, I think that's their ultimate goal. They're not trying to win anything here. They're not trying to be number one. They lost that a long time ago. They just want to be in as many people's homes as they can. And for somebody who's an avid gamer like myself, they're winning in that regard because they know that the Game Pass to a lot of people, including me, means more. It means it's special in its own way. And by saying that, I'm saying it's third party games, man. I mean, that's what you're going to get with it. I keep hearing people, put Microsoft down, put Xbox down when it comes to the games. And trust me, there's a lot of shit that they're doing wrong. There's a lot of shit that could have been done that hasn't been done, and they could have just made Xbox here to stay. I'm talking about all the stuff, the IPs, all the studios that they acquired and they've done nothing with. Okay. But I think now they're looking at it again and they're like, we're just going to do our third party shit. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And I'll talk about Sony in that regard as well, because they've kind of changed their tune with some stuff. But anyway, the Call of Duty thing is definitely going to shake the shit up. Okay. Now, for short term, for sure, it's going to save some people some money. A lot of people are saying that it's going to cost them money in the long term because that's their biggest. Call of Duty is like the biggest franchise out here. That's the one that just prints money. So what are you going to do about that? If your biggest selling game is going to be free on Game Pass, you're either going to have a lot of people get Game Pass, or you're going to have people you're going to take an L in the money category because everybody has Game Pass. So that's why I keep saying Game Pass is their number one priority. They just want more people to have that than anything else. Okay. And all the casual players, a lot of casual gamers are playing Xbox anyway. They're not into, the niche titles, those titles that avid gamers like myself and some of you guys may be interested in. It's just the way of the world. It's the way it works. Okay. So they don't see butter on the table. Okay. You might as well put something else there, but not butter. I see butter in certain regards, and a lot of other people see butter. So it depends on who you're talking to, is what I'm saying. And apparently when you're talking to them, they don't see the butter. Okay. They're looking at something else. They have a different, goal in mind. And they don't care what anybody else thinks. Evidently, they don't. So that's what's going on with this Game Pass thing. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman. I don't know where this is going to go. It could be good. It could be bad, or it could balance itself out. I don't really know. I think most people, the casual gamers, they're Call of Duty players. They're Fortnite players. Maybe a little Madden here, a little NBA 2K, right? Some of the soccer players out here, and you're going to get those games, and that's it. They're not even really playing anything else. Okay. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting when these numbers come out. Definitely. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, on a side note, why I still think Game Pass is relevant and why I have Game Pass, even if my son didn't have Game Pass. Okay. Even if it was just me by myself and I didn't have any kids who gamed or anything like that, I would still personally would have bought a Xbox system for the IPs, number one, because I do dig some of their IPs, but more importantly, the Game Pass thing, because it's like, okay, I'll give you guys $15 to get free games. Okay. And then have a plethora of other titles already, ready to go. So yeah, I would do that. And then, I told you guys, I love Xbox 360. That was, in its heyday, I think, when Xbox was at its highest of highs. And they have their Xbox 360 games. You can buy a lot of them on the store, and I have a lot of them I bought. Okay. So yeah, just like I said, and besides that, there's also Lords of the Fallen, which is coming out in about a week and a half. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen is coming out May 30th on Game Pass. These are the things that I'm talking about. That's a game I wanted to play. All my OG listeners, I've talked about this game. It's a Dark Souls type of game, and it's coming to Game Pass. So a lot of people who didn't get a chance to play it will be jumping on Game Pass and playing it. I know I'm going to be playing it, and a couple of my friends, my son will probably play a little bit, and it has co-op. So yeah, man, I'm going to play it. And it's free and it's all good. So that is what I'm talking about. And there's countless games that have came out already on Game Pass, guys, and that are still going to come out. And like I said, I feel that is very worth it. Lies of P, like I can name lots of different games. Okay. That came out there. Wulong, Fallen Dynasty. And I had a blast with all of those. So to me personally, it has merit. It has value. Not just for my son. I mean, that's the main reason why I did it. But as a gamer myself, I'm using it as well. So I'll leave it there. Go to the next lecture at hand, I guess. And that next lecture is still Xbox. Okay. They are, this sounds so crazy that I'm saying this, but they have a new studio. Okay. On the way. Don't know a lot about it. Just got wind of this, and I'm perplexed because Arcane Studio and Tango just got axed. Okay. And Tango was the studio who did Hi-Fi Rush, and they won awards, and they did this and they did that, and they still got cut. So I don't know what the fuck Microsoft is doing right now. I don't know why they have a new fucking studio. I'm very perplexed about that. I really am. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no clue what's going on over there, guys. I wish I knew. I wish I could tell you something, but I don't. They already had these two studios in place, making games, working on stuff, right? I don't understand why they cut them and now they make another studio. And like I said, the latter of the two, Tango, was actually onto something. They had a hit game. They had awards, accolades, and they were just getting their feet wet. I had a feeling they were going to do great things, and their life was cut short. So I don't know. Arcane could have redeemed themselves. Like I said, I told you guys they were working on the DLC that was going to allow offline gameplay on their last title. And now that's not going to happen. So I don't know who's in charge of all of this, but it's a shit show over there, apparently. So I don't know, man. I heard some whispers out here about fucking Fable as well. Like that may not happen. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, man. Okay. And the studio, I mean, whispers are saying that, oh yeah, we got new stuff coming in about 4 or 5 years. But guys, haven't we heard this same song and dance before when it comes to their IPs? We've heard the same song and dance. I gave up on that a long time ago, personally. I said, you know what? I am playing Xbox for the third party and for the Game Pass. That's how I view Xbox now. That's it. I'm not looking at their IPs. I'm not hoping for any of their IPs. I'm not wishing upon a star at night, in bed like a small child waiting for Christmas. No, none of those things. I will not have my soul crushed in that regard. So I hope you guys are feeling the same or doing the same to protect yourselves, because it's not going to happen. Okay. I just don't see it happening. But it's a free world, free country. You're able to wish and for whatever you want. Just save your time, save the stress. Okay. And focus on something else. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Anyway, let's move on to Sony. While we're at it, let's talk a little bit about Sony. And Sony has a new PlayStation CEO. Okay, they technically have two of them. Their focus is on two different things, but the main one I was focused on was the American guy, because it's a little bit different. Phil Spencer, not Phil Spencer. What am I talking about? Where's my head? I'm tired as hell, guys. I'm so sleepy right now. You just don't understand. I wanted to go to bed so bad, but I said, no, I got to get this show done for you guys. So here we are. But anyway, the PlayStation CEO is going to be, they hired in-house. They actually hired in-house. It's a guy who goes by the name of Herman Holst. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, what's cool about this is that they didn't hire somebody from some, I don't know, phone company or, cable company or some shit like that, and bring them in. And basically you're flipping a coin on that person even liking video games. Okay. But they hired from in-house. So he actually worked with Sony for a long time. Also, this guy is the co-founder and managing director and lead, okay, at Guerrilla Games. That's who they hired. Okay, so if you don't know about Guerrilla Games, let me just give you a quick rundown. Killzone, and most importantly, Horizon, the Horizon series, Horizon Forbidden West, that shit. Okay, so this guy knows what the fuck he's doing when it comes to games. All right, he knows how this shit works. He knows what's good. He has a good eye, sounds like. So I think this is a good move here for him in this new role. All right. And he was handpicked. All right. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I'm not complaining, on the last CEO, because like I said, we did have the PS4. He was there for that era. And so far PS5, I can't complain, with what games we've gotten so far. I do consider Sony people to be a little spoiled, especially in the IP department. I think, we've been spoiled. So that's a good thing, but we'll see what else happens. We'll see what comes of this. And I'm excited. I'm excited for something fresh, something new, and we'll see what happens with this guy here. I think it's going to be okay. I really do. All right. Here's something else I wanted to talk about. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the show, I'm a huge anime fan, of course. I'm a huge gaming fan, of course. This is what this podcast is about. But I love like certain sports. People ask me, what is your favorite sport? Boxing. Boxing is my favorite sport. I love boxing. I love everything about boxing. I love boxing video games. Like Mike Tyson's Punch Out is still an all-time favorite of mine. I can still play for hours to this day. Okay. All the Knockout King games on the PlayStation, all the fight nights and all that. Love those, right? I've been waiting on this game called Undisputed for years. Okay. This game was announced years ago. They've been working on it. It seems like they've been working on this shit for years. But anyway, it's finally got a release date. It's coming out. It's literally coming out now. There's actually a light at the end of the tunnel, and that is October 11th. What a beautiful fucking month that will be. Finally, it's coming to PS5. It's coming to Xbox Series S and X and PC. So this is going to be dope. It's going to have a lot of different characters on there. And Canelo Alvarez is going to be the cover from the standard game. But if you go ahead and try to go with the deluxe edition, you're going to get a different cover, and that's going to be Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. He will be there, okay, on that cover. I'm going to go Canelo Alvarez because I just like him more. I don't consider him to be best. I don't think Floyd is in the game because he should be on the cover. Floyd is very, very smug when it comes to like video games, him in video games. He hasn't been in a boxing game since I think Knockout Kings, I want to say. But yeah, I hope we can work this out and get him added eventually. But anyway, if you pre-order the game, which I am going to do, you get 1993 Roy Jones. And that's a win. That's basically prime Roy Jones when nobody could beat. All right. That was the motherfucking dude right there. Okay. One of the best out there in the game. But anyway, thought it was awesome. Think the game is awesome. Can't wait to play finally a new boxing game. It's going to be awesome, man. I cannot wait. The creator tools look pretty dope as well. So we're going to see where this goes. Very interesting to see. I'll definitely be online doing things. I don't care if if I fought 50 fights and I am 0-50, I ain't going to play the shit out of this game. All right. So excited. But like I said, the fall is going to be very interesting because I just found out also that in November, we're going to be getting the new Assassin's Creed game. Okay. And I don't even know the name of that. What is it? It was codenamed Red. I can't think of the name right now. It slips my mind, but I literally just saw the trailer before I started to record this show. I was going to leave it for next week, but I just wanted to mention it. But yeah, the trailer is out, and you play two characters. You got a female protagonist and you have a male protagonist. The male protagonist is actually based off an actual character back in the day who was a black samurai. And I think his name is Yasuke. There's an anime about him as well. It wasn't very good. It was okay. The animation department was just, you know what I mean? They could have done better, but it's based off of him. I don't know who the female's based off of, if she's real or not, but she's basically the ninja and you are the samurai, and you're going through this world in Japan. And like I said, everything Japan, I'm here for it. So I can't wait. This is going to be an awesome one. I think I love all the Assassin's Creed games that they've been doing as of late. So this is an easy buy for me in November. So I guess October and November is getting crazy. So yeah, those are definitely day ones for sure. So gear up, guys, because it's going to be a crazy fall for video games. Summer, not too much, but the fall, it's definitely some stuff I can definitely see out here. But anyway, I think the only thing I have for summer is the DLC for Elden Ring. There is the DLC for River City Girls 2 for the Switch. And then there's Visions of Mana. Whenever they give us a release date, sometime they sit in the summer. So hopefully we get that this summer. I'm kind of nervous because summer is pretty much here now and we still don't have a release date for that. I hope we get this information soon, very soon, within the next month or so. If not, I'm going to be very nervous. But yeah, so hopefully we get that this summer as well. Visions of Mana, looking forward to playing that one. And that's it. As far as I'm concerned, I had nothing else planned to buy and play. I had some DLCs like Final Fantasy 16 and stuff like that. I still need to go back and do Cyberpunk as well. So I'm just backlog crazy. But yeah, other than that, as far as buying new games day one, that's it. I didn't see anything else until, like I said, the fall, and looking forward to what that's going to be about. So that's that. Can't wait for this Assassin's Creed though. It's gonna be dope. I got a funny feeling it's gonna be one of the best ones, but we'll see. I'll definitely be talking about it. Anyway, let's move on and let's talk a little bit about horror. Believe it or not, yes, I have a lot of horror fans who listen to this. And Windsor, if you're listening, yo, I'm giving you a shout out, homie. He's a big horror guy. He's one of my listeners. And Jason Universe, they have their own universe. I think they're owned by Horror Inc. Okay, but anyway, they've just announced that they got a lot of fucking stuff coming out for Friday the 13th. Okay, multi-platform expansions. Okay, coming. So video games, movies, probably TV shows, the works. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff coming from that franchise. I think Halloween is doing the same thing. I think I announced that some months ago. Halloween is doing the same thing. I'm a Michael Myers guy. Don't get me wrong. I grew up on Jason, grew up on Michael Myers, grew up on Freddy. Those are the main three. Grew up on those guys. But my favorite has always been Michael Myers. And I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to this too. Don't get me wrong. I still love the Friday the 13th, all the movies, watched them all. Me and my son, I remember, still have great memories years back. He loved horror movies. We've been watching horror movies for a long time, since he was little, man. And he's 11 now. And we sat in bed, I remember one night, and we watched all, pretty much like every Friday the 13th movie. And then like the next night, it was like, I think it was Nightmare on Elm Street marathon. And then we did the Halloween. Like he's that kid. All right. Watching the shit. So going to be cool to see what comes of it. A24 is one of those studios, I think, that does a lot of the horror stuff now. Blumhouse is another one. So looking forward to what they're going to do with this new aged Jason Voorhees, telling the same story, but just in the modern times, and kind of going to see what that entails. I think they're going to do some great things. I think these characters, like, I love to see that they, they're always going to be around. Like I said, when you saw Halloween for the last time, you thought it was done, but then here's another one, and then here's another one. Same thing with this now. So rest assured, they may do it with Freddy as well. Let's find out. I mean, they might as well, you know what I mean? And keep that shit going. Anyway, there's nothing like the OGs of that genre, man. I mean, there have been some new ones. Like I said, of course, the Chucky is also one of the OGs. You could put him in there. There's a lot of Chucky fans out there, but like some of the new ones I could think of that I really liked personally, the Terrifier. I really like the Terrifier. If you haven't seen the Terrifier movies 1 and 2, go see that shit. Go see those, man. If you're into like the gore and the guts and all that, you're gonna get a kick out of the Terrifier. Definitely check out that one. And then I really liked Jeepers Creepers. That antagonist in there. I thought he was one of the dopest, characters in modern times. I guess you can call it modern, even though it stems back a little bit. But yeah, he was just a really cool character, man. I really liked him. So, there's other ones too, but those are the ones that come to mind right now off bat. But you're not going to beat the OGs. You're not going to beat the big three. It's going to be very hard to do that. Anyway, moving on. This is going to be my last little piece of, I guess, news before I get out of here. This is going to be a short one, guys. But I thought this is definitely different. Okay. But there was a game that was in development for about 3 years now. And it was a fighting game based on, I can't believe I'm saying this, trans characters. Okay. Think of like RuPaul or somebody like that who dresses up in drag and all that. And the game was called Drag Her. Okay. And it basically ended development. It had to end development. They had to can it, axe it, trash it, whatever. Apparently, because like I said, they've been working on it for an extended period of time. I think they managed to raise about $75,000, like on the Kickstarter, which was below their goal that they were trying to meet. But they ran out of money in development, so they just didn't have the money for it. And not just that, there's a lot of underlining things that I peeped when I read the article, and it was saying something about how, whenever you get into this trans stuff and this culture, shit gets it gets dicey. You know what I mean? Certain people align themselves with certain things, and that could have been an issue for a lot of things. And it's a fighting game, and they said that they didn't think that the fighting community, the trans community, weren't heavily into it. Hence not being able to raise a certain amount of money. And a lot of people maybe have shied away from that. There's a lot of people who aren't really crazy about that community and what all that stuff entails. So there's a lot of red tape is what I'm trying to say when it comes to that. And, a lot of people didn't, probably, if I'm being honest, didn't want to see this game make it, did not want to see this game come to fruition. So there's that. But, hey, I wouldn't be playing it. It's just not something that I've never thought of that. I've never would have, you know what I mean? That's something I don't think I'd play. But hey, who knows if it could have been made or finished or whatever. But they actually have a portion of the game that they're going to give out. And I think it's called, I don't even know the exact name, but it's basically, they're kind of poking fun at the fact that they ran out of funding. So I think it's called like lack of funds edition or some shit like that. I can't remember the name, but it's something like that where you can play as 3 different characters. I think there were like 7 characters that they initially wanted to put in the game, and they were only able to do 3 of them. So you would actually have access to those just to get a taste of the game and how it played or whatever. So I guess if you are interested, you could Google, Drag Her video game or fighting game and see what happens. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I really did. And yeah, that's going to end it. That's going to do it for the show. It's a short one. I know, probably one of the shortest ones I've done in a minute. But I had a lot I was going to do. And I'm kind of thankful that I didn't put it all down, because like I said, tonight was crazy. My daughter went to bed extra fucking late, and I'm extra sleepy tonight, and I'm really trying to fight through this. But I definitely put it to the side for next week. So next week should be a pretty hefty episode, guys. At least, 50 minutes, could be an hour, depending on what happens. But yeah, so be looking forward to that next episode. I definitely have some other things to discuss with you guys. One in particular being Square Enix, one of my favorite companies of all time. Going to talk about that. And I'm not, some people may look at it as a bad thing, but I don't. I actually look at it as a good thing. And I'll get into that. That'll be next week. So stay tuned and we'll get into that. Okay. I want to thank everybody for downloading, streaming, listening to the show. If you're new to the show, I hope you guys join me next week. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. I've been extremely busy these last couple of months, and I'll probably be for another couple. I'm working on so many things. The man cave is a work in progress. I know I haven't given you guys any updates, but there's nothing really to update. I set up the main shit, my gaming station or whatever, and I still have a couch to put in here that kind of transforms. I wanted to be a couch, but then have like a memory foam kind of fold out for guests or just quarantine, or if I just want to come in here and make a night of it, and put a TV in here too, another TV. So those are my main two next big purchases. So I'm getting the money for that. Also, I want to put some shelves in here, a couple shelves in here for all my, my collectibles and stuff like that, which they're still in the box, man. I haven't been able to really pull anybody out, man. So it's a work in progress. The man cave is, but it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited because there's just so many things that I see for this room that haven't gotten here yet that I just have on my radar. I have, saved on my shopping cart, or, that I have my eye on that I'll eventually get. Other posters and things like that, even custom ones I've been thinking about. Canva is sweet, man. I can really do some crazy shit in Canva. But yeah, man, this room, when it's done, or when it'll never be 100% complete, because there's always something I want to add. But when I get the basics down, like I said, the couch, TV, my shelves, and a couple other things in here, then it's going to be fun. So I'll be definitely showing you guys something when I get a little closer. So just keep your eyes on the prize, and we'll go from there. Okay. So yeah, just bear with me, guys. All right. And that's going to do it. I'm going to bow out gracefully now. I'm going to edit this real quick, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and I'll see you guys next week. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.